announced that we had an executive session at 6:30 discussing personnel and legal issue. Will everyone please stand for the flag salute? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank you all for attending the meeting tonight. Mr. Hosky, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Koser? Absent. Dr. Laughlin? Here. Mrs. Maines? Here. Mr. McConnell is absent. Mr. Merle D. Music?
Here.
Mr. Merle L. Music?
Here.
Mr. Recto?
Here.
Dr. Zorch?
Here.
And Mr. Hauser is absent. Okay.
Thank you. Solicitor's report, Mr. Nagel. No report, sir. Education and planning, Mrs. Maines.
Yes, thank you. We'll begin with a student report with our new representative, Michael Nagel.
As far as the student report goes, I have a variety of information from all of our schools. Starting with the high school, this is the first week where tickets for the homecoming dance can be purchased. They will continue through the 16th. The dance is to be held on September 24th at Idlewild like it was last year. Pictures for grades 9 through 11 are held today and tomorrow. The senior picture makeup's being held today. And the senior high club fair is to be conducted tomorrow in the Commons. Within the junior high, open house was successful on September 7th from 6:30 to 8:30. And there's a variety of fundraisers being held, first starting with the kickoff in the American Talent Show, and with Picture Day being held on the 28th. As far as the elementary schools go, every Friday, the students have begun wearing school colors in an effort to increase school pride and show our diversity. Within Mountain View, School Picture Day is going to be held on October 5th with the Wellness Walk on the 30th of September. Kindergarten open house is also to be held on the 19th. Within Bagley, open house is again held on the 19th, same with Latrobe Elementary School. 6th grade camp parent meeting will be held in Senior High Auditorium on September 20th for all parents and any elementary school student. Thank you.
Michael, we've never had a student representative bring their computer to the podium before. You're setting the bar very high. I appreciate that.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's your homecoming tickets?
They're $25. That's to cover the food, drink, transportation. Students will also have the opportunity to drive this year like they did last year.
The park, if I'm correct on this, you've seen the parking spaces being painted. Students have to pay $20 to paint a parking space.
I believe it was $20 for the initial application, and then there was an added cost of you had to have a parking pass, and you also had to purchase your own paint for the spot.
Okay, but some of that money is being used to offset the cost of homecoming tickets and prom tickets, that kind of stuff. So yes, yeah, we're trying to make things equitable.
Well, welcome to you, Michael. Thank you. You did an excellent job.
Or it's really hot. All right.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
Enrollment report, Mr. Maines.
All right, thank you. The third day enrollment report is attached. Just to highlight a few numbers, when you look at the total student elementary enrollment right now after day 3, it was 1,734 kids. That's a minus 36 from last year, just if you want to compare. At the secondary level, we're looking at 1,724 kids. That's a difference of 99 in the whole compared to last year. Total student population after day 3 for this current year is 3,458 kids.
We said in the Finance Committee meeting, one of the things that Mr. Watson talked to the Finance Committee about is historic enrollment. And when you look at our enrollment historically over the last 40 years, it is cyclical. I mean, it is up and it is down. We are definitely in that down spot. But I think when you look at our community, that's probably reflective of the demographics of our community. I don't know that it will ever rebound back to 4,200 students, which we had in, 08, 09? You know, I don't know if we'll get to that point, but I am fairly confident that things will rebound, and at some point we're going to come back on that upslope. But obviously the number of students that we have impacts everything that we do, from staffing to budgeting to, sports, activities, clubs, etc.
And there's still a lot of remote Is that because the people that went remote is still finishing out?
Yes, not necessarily with us, right? We did have a number of kids that went to cyber charter, and I don't know if those numbers are super high or if they're about normal. The other thing that I would say too, though, is even with our enrollment, you look back to 2008, if we had 4,200 kids, and look at where we are today with, what do you say, 3,400, Joe? The offerings that we have for our kids certainly haven't gone down.
Right.
We are still offering, no matter if you take the 3 A's, we are offering more for our kids today than we did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's still a tremendous opportunity.
Are you seeing the same trend, or you might not even know, in other districts? Because I think the birth rate's down.
I think overall in Westmoreland County, you're seeing a decrease in population. I don't know about specific districts. And if I was just to look in general, I'll look at sports classifications. Hemphill dropped from 6A to 5A. Norwin dropped from 6A to 5A. I mean, those are your 2 largest school districts in Westmoreland County, and apparently their enrollment's going down a bit. I don't know, you look at Derry area, they went from 3A to 2A this year in sports classification. So I think it's a general trend across the county. I don't think we're unique. Again, I look at the demographics of our area. I look at some of the communities, some of the housing developments that we had that sprouted up 8 to 10 years ago, okay, which allowed for 60 single home families to be built in a certain area, right? When I was the principal of Bagney, I could tell you about one of these areas. Those kids were in kindergarten, first, second, third grade coming in, right? And our population jumped up. But where are those kids today? They're graduated. They're in college. And it's going to take a few years for some of those homes to cycle back around to where, kids are out of college, parents are deciding to go to the patio homes that are being built on Fry Farm Road, and you're going to get another young family into that area.
Okay, again, we have a lot of agreements to approve. They'll be on your agenda next week. They all have attachments. The first one is to approve the Ignite Educational Solutions Agreement for 22-23 school year. Then to approve the Westmoreland ESL Master Service Agreement for the 22-23 school year. And to approve achieving the Self-Professional Services Agreement for the 22-23 school year. And to approve the Dollywood Foundations Agreement for the Dolly Partners Imagination Library Early Education Development Book Gifting Program. Those will all be on your agenda for approval next week. That last one, that was pretty
You mean the Dolly Parton Imagination?
Yeah.
It's something we've worked on for a couple of years. So any new child in our school district, parents will be able to sign up and they'll receive, was it 2 books a month? One book a month until they're school age. So, yes, Derry currently does this. I think Greensburg-Salem does it.
It will be funded through our foundation.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
The school district actually has the agreement that the money will flow from the foundation to the school district.
Thank you. All right, and the curriculum meeting minutes from the meeting on August 16th, 22 are attached, and please read that. There's a lot of great stuff going on, and a lot of information there. Okay, that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the finance report, there's a treasury report that's part of your attachments. It's a routine agenda item, and payment of bills, another routine agenda item. We're also going to approve gifts, grants, and donations. And there are 2 listed there. Interested to find out what that first one is. Enhancing family engagement team training. What is that?
Lori, you want to talk about that one? That's actually
Sure.
15,000 total, right?
Yes, so the Family Engagement Team Training Grant, we'll be getting another $10,000 over the course of this school year. That's an initiative through Patton. We have an Enhancing Family Engagement team created in addition to myself. Eugene Joe is a member of the team, Teresa DeSanco, who's our Title I Literacy Coordinator, Kara Stanger, who is our teacher leader for the Special Education Department, and Alyssa, a parent, Tammy Bailey is a part of that committee, just to look at ways that we can continue to provide outreach and support for our families in the district. And we will be presenting at the 2023 PDE conference in Hershey.
And how do the families get involved with this? Do you find the families, or do they have to apply, or?
That is our project for this year. Last year was on doing some surveys and gauging needs across the district. Families may remember a survey was sent out at the end of April or beginning of May, I believe, asking for different family needs. We had close to 400 families respond, which was great. And then using that data, the team from Patton will help us to form the initiatives and the goals for this year to reach out to families.
Thank you. Also, an agenda item to approve disposal and sale of property. 2 used wrestling mats. Boy, sign me up for that one.
That's funny, because they're actually going to be dropped off at your house.
The next finance committee meeting is Tuesday, October 18th at 5:30 in the senior high school library. Giving them money.
They're free.
Yeah.
Free of person.
I'll do the next one too, since this was sprung on me. I didn't know who else is on the committee.
It's okay. You're doing good.
We have the facilities operations and planning. We're going to approve West Warren Intermediate Unit Early Intervention Lease Agreement for the 22-23 school year. That's an attachment for your perusal, and it's an agenda item. And the next operations and planning committee meeting will be this Thursday at 3:30 Administration Building. Student activities and recreation, Mr. Merle Almuzek, please.
Thank you. There will be one agenda item next week, and that's to approve the SMILE Pennsylvania Memorandum of Understanding for the School District's dentist services and cost, and that's attached to the board's agenda. And I'd like to announce several senior nights across country will be on October 4th, and that'll be at 3:45 at Rossi Field. Golf will be on September 27th, and that'll be at 6 p.m. at the Lake Road Country Club. Girls soccer will be on October 18th at 6 p.m. at Rossi Field. Field hockey is on October 8th at Rossi Field. Time's not listed. The girls tennis will be on September 26th at 3 p.m. and that will be at the tennis courts. Boys soccer will be on September 29th at 7 p.m. at Rossi Field. Football is going to be on October 28th at 6 p.m. and that will be prior to the football game at Memorial Stadium. And the band and cheer will be the same night, October 28th, and that will be at the football game half time, and that's at Memorial Stadium. And last but not least, girls volleyball will be on October 4th at 7 p.m. and that will be at the main gym at the senior high. And the next athletic and recreation committee is to be determined.
Thank you. Community Relations, Mrs. Mays.
Thank you. Regulatory Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes from the meeting on June 16th of 2022 are attached. And the next Lake Road Parks and Recreation Commission meeting will be on Thursday, September 15th at 4:30 p.m. in the Unity Township Municipal Building. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Just keep on going. Keep it rolling there, too.
Okay, on the agenda for next week, we will be authorizing the district to participate in the WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium and appointing a representative and alternate for the 23-24 school year. We will be granting permission to advertise jointly as a member of the WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium for the 23-24 school year. And a summary of the WIU board meeting minutes from the meeting on August 23rd of 22 is attached. The next WIU committee meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 27th at 7 p.m. in the WIU boardroom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rhonda, you want to give, you're on the board, correct?
The joint committee meeting minutes from August 24th are, there's an attachment for that, and our next meeting will be Wednesday, September 28th at 7.
Dr. Walton, just real quick, I did get an email this week from Todd Weimer over at EWCTC, and it's interesting to see Exterior panels have now been placed throughout the back side of the building and around the side. They're milling the courtyard. That's going to start. It was supposed to start last week, but it's getting started this week, and their office space is almost done. If you've not had the opportunity to go over to EWCTC, I would be willing to take you over to see the things that are going on with that renovation. And it's neat because, I mean, kids, they're doing it right around the kids. Sidewalks are in, they're doing a lot of site work, is almost complete. There was some painting that was done on the interior to freshen things up inside. It is coming together, and it's really neat to see that. So if anyone wants to go over, reach out to me. I'd be happy to set you up. I'll take you over myself if you so desire. Thank you. Sorry.
Transportation Committee, Mr. Merle Music.
No report this evening.
Thank you. I'll do the board policy. The PSBA has officer elections. If you want to look at the website, they have the officer candidates listed. There's a president-elect, one-year term, and a vice president, one-year term. We also have the PSBA insurance trustee positions, which are three-year terms. Once again, if you look at their website, you'll see that you get the magazine, which we all should every month. See the candidates listed in there as well. We'll be adopting the board policy, policy 008, the organizational chart, which we've all had a chance to talk about a few months ago, and also to review from last meeting. The next board policy committee meeting is to be decided at the administration board. Mr. House is not here, and the technology committee meeting is Tuesday, October 11th at 5:30 p.m. here at the CSC. Superintendent's report, Mr. Duncan.
Real quick, I just want to jump back. Mr. Music talked about senior nights. The field hockey senior night it's actually senior day. October the 8th is a Saturday. That'll be at Rossi Field at 1:15 p.m. Skipping ahead, next week I'll ask you to move on resignations as listed. Larry Brinker, custodian, Lou Downey, in-school suspension, Tina Hellman, personal care assistant, Alden Hope, twice there, soccer coach and boys tennis assistant coach, Robert Kremer, boys lacrosse head coach, Jennifer Racy, health room assistant, and Tim Sheridan's formal resignation will be next week. We have professional personnel substitute teachers. I saw Mrs. Pellis was doing Google Meet interviews today with candidates. We're trying as hard as we can to add as many substitute teachers as possible. Now, you would think that Dr. Tepper would know that I'm in the middle of a board meeting right now. She would not call me by myself.
You gotta answer.
I should answer it and tell her, leave me alone. No, I'm not going to do that. I only picked it up because I saw it. I sent you a resume for Sarah Kelp. She'll be approved next week as a long-term substitute teacher that's learning support at the junior high school. We do have two professional appointments classified, a substitute food service, Alicia Sutton and Tracy Holden as a personal care assistant. The next item is some salary calculation corrections. These are our support personnel, our coaches. We had an incorrect points calculation on Amy Mallory as the student council advisor. And then we want to credit Tom McIntyre, Tom Wilkins, Bob Armstrong for years of service that they had as coaches in the district. They are back now as varsity football coaches, and we want to give them credit for the time they had in the district prior. And Kelsey Coden, we need to switch her from a shared position to a full-time teacher leader position, K-12. Under additional support personnel supplemental appointments, we have Olivia Blackmore as the musical productions director. We have two volunteer coaches, one for football and one for volleyball. And then Josh Jordan, Katie Richards, and Morgan Rockwell, we have to shift some of those positions around. Tim left prior to the football season starting. We have to shift some folks around because they're sharing some responsibilities with marching band until Ryan Checkeye can make it here in October. So we want to compensate them fairly for the extra time that they're putting in to keep our marching band moving successfully, for that matter. Next week, we'll approve Jeff Duda as an additional on-road driver education instructor for this school year. Other business, homecoming, as we discussed before. Homecoming football game September the 23rd, followed by the dance on the 24th. The band night, junior high band night, is on the 7th. Zach talked to us too. That night, in addition to including junior high band for band night, will also be a youth cheer/football night as well, where we'll invite our youth football and cheerleaders to participate in that game. That's at 6:30. We do have a board meeting next Tuesday, our voting meeting at 7 o'clock here in the CSC. And our next committee, the whole meeting, will be October the 11th here at 7 o'clock. Officer Dare, do we have a car outside?
Yes, sir.
You remember we talked about purchasing 3 police vehicles for the school district, 1 for each elementary school. We were able to get 2 prior to the start of the year. Officer Soliday just told me on Friday our 3rd car's in. We're actually going to pick it up tomorrow. So that should be at LES by the beginning of October, once it gets all mocked out with decals, etc. That's probably 3 weeks earlier than we thought we could get it to LES, which is awesome. But I did ask Officer Dare to put a car outside for you. You could check out one of the cars on your way out. I would say we would give you a ride in the car, but you cannot drive it yourself. You know, we were going to give Mr. Maines a ride in the car one day, and he said, "That's all right, I've already been in the police car." Probably for a home visit, right?
Right.
Yeah. Any questions for me? That it? That concludes my
All
report.
right, meeting is adjourned unless anybody has anything else to say. Thank you.